seconds in your life when you feel everything is going right. The sky is clear and that massive, crushing weight on your shoulders has lifted. That endless, exhausting noise in your mind has gone quiet for a while. For an ordinary person, this is the very essence of living. They just take a deep breath, lean back, and enjoy the moment. But for someone like you, whose mind is filled with the invisible wreckage of the past, this brief peace is not a reward. It is the deafening footstep of an approaching disaster. That silence is not peace. It is the silence of a predator lying in ambush. Welcome to Abyssos. Today, we will not talk about the serial killers, cannibals, or sociopaths out there. We will not look for those famous monsters behind locked doors. Today, we will talk about the most dangerous, most insidious monster you see when you look in the mirror. That diseased mind that sets its own peace on fire with its own hands, meaning you. Why do we tear happiness apart with our own hands? Think about it. There's not a single problem in your life that day. Maybe you are just walking in the sun. Maybe you are genuinely laughing at something you are watching. Or maybe that person who values you is right beside you and things are going well. Everything is proceeding exactly as it should, ordinary and calm. But while sitting in the middle of that peace, your heartbeat, which should be slowing down, suddenly begins to race. From that dark and locked room in your mind, you hear an ice-cold whisper, "Ruin this." You start an argument for no reason. You ruthlessly wound that person who understands you, using the most sensitive words, or suddenly, without any logical explanation, you build a massive, cold wall between you. Those looking from the outside think you have lost your mind. They say you are ungrateful, a complicated and troubled person who doesn't know the value of what they have. They give you advice and ask why you are doing this. But they cannot see that silent battlefield inside your mind. They can never understand that freezing fear. In psychology, this is called intolerance to happiness and self-sabotage. But let's leave that sterile, clinical side of things behind and go down into your childhood, into the house where you were first shaped. We all have invisible wounds left over from the past in our minds. You don't need to have experienced massive tragedies. Just think of that silent and freezing tension at those dinner tables. Remember that unspoken cold war between your mother and father that covered the entire house. Or just think of those moments of conditional love where you were only praised when you were well-behaved, successful, and didn't cause any trouble. In that house, which should have been the safest place in the world, you silently learned that you always had to be on guard. You saw that someone could get angry at any moment, someone could sulk for no reason, or that affection could suddenly be withdrawn. That is when the human brain, at that exact age, makes that terrible decision. The human brain does not seek happiness, it seeks what is familiar. Your nervous system grew up not in safety, but in uncertainty and crisis. For you, the normal thing is not peace. Your normal is waiting on high alert. Tragedy is located in your most well-known and familiar territory because you know exactly what to do in a moment of crisis. You have memorized countless times how to retreat into yourself, how to parry those emotional blows, and how to cope with pain. Your eyes see very well in the dark. You know the geography of pain, street by street. But peace, Peace is a completely foreign, dangerous, and deadly language for your brain, especially in love. In those romantic relationships, this monster wakes up with all its brutality. When you start to love someone, when the person in front of you offers you an unmasked, pure, and honest affection instead of embracing them, a massive doubt awakens inside you, because in the deepest parts of your mind lies a poisonous belief left over from that childhood or from your shattered past relationships. I am not worthy of being loved just as I am. You say to yourself, if this person really loves me, it means they haven't realized how incomplete and flawed I am yet. This is an illusion. This is a lie. And I must expose this lie myself before they break my heart. And you begin that bloody test. You push that person who loves you away. You purposely reply late to their messages. You put on a fake show of strength, acting like you don't care about them, like you could live perfectly well without them. You push harder. Just when the relationship is about to deepen, just when it is about to approach that safe harbor, you suddenly become aggressive. You bring up trivial mistakes from the past. You break them and you build walls. Actually, your goal is not to upset them. Your real goal is to prove your own worthlessness and your own ugliness to yourself. You want to see if they will leave you, no matter how far you push them away. Not only in love, you do the same thing in your family or with your closest friends. When things are going very well, when someone truly values you, you suddenly retreat into your shell and silently exclude them from your life, because thinking that that love will end one day, that those people will leave one day, drives you crazy. Waiting for that sword hanging from the ceiling to snap and fall on your head slowly rots a person's soul. Waiting is heavier than dying. That sabotage impulse, that desire for self-destruction, is born exactly in this despair. If I wait for that abandonment, for that pain to come, I will become a victim, a helpless and pitiful victim. But if I start that disaster, if I tear down that wall, and if I end that relationship, I will have the control. Do you hear it? Breaking your own heart is less frightening than waiting for someone else to break it. And eventually, when that person truly can't take it anymore, gets tired and leaves, when that door closes and you are left all alone in that room, that diseased voice in your mind smiles. You see, I told you, everyone leaves. Nobody really loves you. However, you are the one who forced that person to walk out that door. You have fulfilled your own dark prophecy, stitch by stitch, with your own hands. You have slaughtered your own happiness just to be proven right, just so that uncertainty would end. You strike a match, and you watch those beautiful moments, those beautiful people that you spent years building with your own hands, burn in flames. As the heat hits your face, what you feel in that moment is not just a simple regret. We both know that disgusting truth you are too afraid to even admit to yourself. That toxic and dark sense of relief you feel deep down while watching those flames, because chaos, that dark nest you belong to, has finally returned. The unknown is over. Everything has turned to ash. But the fear of waiting for when that house will burn down is now gone. The disaster has happened, and you have finally been freed from that heavy, that freezing anticipation. You are safe now, alone, in pain, but safe. We are creatures accustomed to the dark. If we look at the light for too long after living in a dark cave for years, our eyes bleed, and we go blind. That is why we cannot tolerate those bright moments in our lives. We want to dirty them, to ruin them, and paint them in our own color, that black we know and have memorized. Happiness is not a cheap and easy thing as it is thought to be. Happiness is a very heavy burden that only the brave can endure. Because being happy, opening your heart to someone, means having very precious things to lose in life. You cannot scare a man who has nothing. Living in misery, he has nothing to lose. But a happy man, a woman in love, lives every moment with the terror of losing that happiness and falling down from that high mountain. You are a coward who refuses to climb that mountain from the start and chooses to jump into your own abyss rather than dying every day with the fear of falling off that mountain. A coward who prefers to die alone rather than remain defenseless. Self-sabotage is the most ruthless game of Russian roulette a person plays against themselves. You put the gun to your own temple and convince yourself that someone else pulled the trigger. After every failed relationship, after every lost friendship, you curse fate or people. You say, "Why do they always find me?" But on the grip of that gun, there are only your fingerprints. They say there is no such thing as a perfect murder. They are right. Every person, at least once in their life, has been the perfect killer of their own happiness. Now take a good look at those invisible blood stains on your hands. Those stains do not belong to a monster out there, to the world that wronged you, or to the people who abandoned you. Those stains belong to that cowardly and wounded mind of yours that tears apart its own peace, that is deathly afraid of being loved. If one day you truly want to be loved and find peace, you will have to drop those matches from your hand. You will have to give up the lie that others started that fire and face that arsonist in the mirror. You can never escape this hell you built with your own hands any other way, because you yourself are the guard, the prisoner, and the executioner. Always keep your eyes on the dark.